Hi folks, 1 second. That seems to have mucked up. How you doing? I shall put this somewhere where hopefully you can get pictures of the doggies. Right, okay. So you can see the doggies just sitting there. That's cool. That'll do you. There's a video. See a bit of my leg as well, which is a bit unfortunate. A bit dusty right now. Okay, now for this video, we're just going to talk a little bit about this coronavirus and the opportunities that are available. If you are a Christian, then you actually have a duty to your society to look to God to give you opportunities to bless the people in your community. Now, you could be a prayer warrior because of the fact that there are a lot of people who will need prayer. Of course there are. Yeah, there are a lot of people in hospitals in your nation and nations all around the world who are struggling for life. And there are healthcare professionals who are being worked at such a degree where they need help and support, and they need prayer for energy, prayer for wisdom and guidance, and it's not easy. It's incredibly tough for everyone out there. I'll just change the picture a second. There you go, that's better. That's better. You see it. You see 4 of the doggies. Amber's in a basket in another area. You can see here how tiny my flat is. It is incredibly tiny. You can see there's my bed, and the bed is knackered. It's one of those duvans, but one of the drawers is further out. It seems to have lost its connection. So there you go. It still works as a bed. So there you go. That'll do. You can see a torch on the end of the board there. The purpose of that is obviously when you've got 5 dogs sleeping in the same room as you, if you sense a funny smell at night, you have to turn the light on to make sure that if you get up, you're not stepping in dog poo, because occasionally they do happen to poo indoors at night, especially if they've got stomach problems. So you have that to deal with. So having a torch there is really useful, because on the nights when you wake up and there's an awful smell, you reach for the torch and it's not there. You've used it at some point during the day and moved it and haven't put it back, and you're, oh no. Here we go. You just gotta take steps really, really carefully and hope you don't step in something. So yeah, that's the reality of the situation. That's what you have to do. Anyway, back to the point. Yeah, as Christians, you can put notes for your neighbours' doors when you're going to the shops to ask if they need anything. If you find out a neighbour has the virus, you can pray for them. If God directs you, you can go and lay hands on them, pray for them in that way to deliver them of that virus, if that's what God wants. So this time is going to be full of opportunities, folks. I've done videos recently, and in those videos, I've said in one of them, this could be your opportunity to prove that when God starts working on these people again, and God starts bringing a new wave of whatever he wants that wave to be, that he can use you, that he knows that he can trust you, that when he gives you an opportunity, you are going to take it. But you're going to be taking it in a way that glorifies him, and where you are looking to him for guidance and to be led by him. There's opportunities here, folks. And it's not a case of, rubbing your hands together. Hey, people are sick. Great opportunities. No. As I said earlier, one of the opportunities is the fact of just to learn to be led and guided by the Holy Spirit, and just to be obedient. Simple, really. It sounds simple. It isn't. It's complicated, it's difficult, because most Christians have no idea how to be led by the Holy Spirit. And that's why we are constantly in a situation where we are struggling as Christians, because we are not in that situation where we can be led by the Spirit. So, yeah. But if we have a few weeks where we're not working, where we're not going to the social things that we normally go to, where going to the gym, going to a bar, and all these things aren't available now, well then, we've got the opportunities, because how many times do we say, or do we hear people say, oh, if there was just enough time in the day, just a bit more time available, I'd do all these things. Well, there you go. Here we go now, folks. You have all the time in the world. You have 3 weeks where you've got to self-isolate, and you have all that time now available. Time to do what you need to do in. Whatever that may be. Spend time in the Word, spend time in praise and worship, spend time developing your prayer, becoming a prayer warrior. Set up, help to give guidance to church leaders, because now we have a situation where you can't meet, or in most places, it will be a case that if you're on lockdown, you can't meet as a church in the old-fashioned way of meeting as a church. So therefore, it will be a case where you could meet on Skype, where you all have your Skype video on, and you meet in that way, where you could have, every member of the church meeting in that way. Now, of course, this is something which will be difficult for a lot of people, because if they're not computer savvy, then if you are, you could guide them over the phone how to do it. If they haven't got the facilities to be able to go on Skype, well, then there's not an awful lot you can do about that. What you could do is a video call, because if anyone's got a mobile phone that's reasonably up to date, you could have most people doing Skype, other people doing video calls, and they can still see the screen. So you can do church. But you may be someone who needs to help others to do that. And that's fine. That may be your ministry in this next few weeks. Doesn't mean that that'd be your ministry for the rest of your life. It just means for these next few weeks, that may be something where you can help your church to still function as a church in this time. Again, opportunities. What the opportunity will be for you will all depend upon what your community needs, as well as what you yourself may be able to deliver. If your community needs someone who can go to the shops and get stuff for them, some of the people, but you don't drive, then you're probably not the person to try and meet that need. Sorry, there's a weird light in this now. I don't know where that light is actually coming from. That's weird. You've got a light coming from the ceiling. It looks as if that's where it's coming from. Oh, here we go. There you go. That's where the light's coming from. If I look at the room, I can't see that. It's only when I look through the video I can see that. Now that's weird. It's going in a different direction as well. Oh, that's my projector. I don't have a TV, as you notice. I have a screen here, but I don't have a TV. That's just my computer screen thing. So yeah, sorry about that. I didn't notice that had ever happened before, because of the fact I don't normally use the cam at all. If you're used to my videos, you'll know that I just have photos of the dogs coming up. So not cams. So therefore, usually you don't get this light. So that's weird. Yeah, that's something I've never seen before. See, you see something new every day. I certainly did. The weights on the floor, that's for doing upper back. And I also do it for lower back because you just do it where you just do a few more reps, you slow it down, you go all the way up, as you would do for normal reps, and you just bounce it. You just bounce it gently when it gets down, straight back up again. And therefore you can do lower back as well. And it's a good one for lower back, just to give it a few more reps. I've got one for lower back outside, and that is heavy. That's about 90. Well, for me, that's heavy. Because I don't normally do backs. Weighs about, I think, 96 kilograms, which is, say, for most people, that's nothing. People that go to a gym, that's nothing at all. I know people that do, 200, 250 kilograms with lower back, whatever that exercise is called. Whereas 90 something is fine for me because I think I weigh about 80. So it's more than what I weigh. So that's cool. That's okay. That's not too bad. So anyway, back to always get distracted. So easy to get distracted by little things like a light coming down. And there's my Chewy on the floor. Stay there, Chew. Be a good boy. You can see Molly and then Riley and then Lucy at the back. See their bedding there? See, they've got a whole lot of bedding. Their bedding is probably about the same size as my bed, but they've got all my old duvets. Yeah, that blue one that you can see, that duvet inside there is a duck down duvet, and it cost me £250. And I bought it because of the fact that I live in a place with no heating. So in winter, I need to wear the Under Armour thermals and stuff like that. So therefore, I wear them. Anyway, yeah. Not going to go into any more detail. I could do, but no, I'm not going to do that. Anyway, so I wear them, and I wanted a sort of duck down duvet that wouldn't be putting feathers into my clothing. So these were supposed to be better. That's why you spend £250 on it instead of £40 on a goose feather duvet. However, same problem. Little feathers coming out all the time, sticking in your clothing, sticking all over the sheets and everything, and prodding you at night and being blinking irritating. So give it to the dogs. They're okay. They don't care. Yeah, they're quite happy. It's a nice soft duvet. But put it this way, it was a great duvet in the sense that you could use it over winter and just have that duvet on the bed. Then spring and autumn, you could put it on early autumn and you wouldn't overheat even if the weather suddenly changed. In spring, you could still have that duvet on your bed and you wouldn't be overheating because it just did what you needed it to do all year round. I didn't use it in the summer, of course. But spring, sort of certainly early spring, late autumn. From late autumn to early spring, that duvet was on my bed. And yeah, it was fantastic. Never too cold, never too hot. It was absolutely spot on. So it was well worth it in a sense. But the material of the duvet just let all the little down feathers just come through all the time, which is just as annoying as the bigger feathers, really. There's not much difference in size of the feathers. So the doggies got that, and they've got all the other duvets here. They were all my duvets at one point. So yeah. I don't mind. I mean, it's important for them to have comfort to allow them, especially in the winter. Yeah. So yeah, but the brown one was also Chewy's one. That when the puppies aren't in the kennel, Chewy has that one in the kennel because he normally sleeps in the kennel. So I just brought it in because if I leave it out there with the pups, they will pee and poo all over it, and it would be absolutely disgusting. So it's like, right, okay, keep that one there for Chewy. And yeah, I go back out with this. Anyway, Christianity-wise and coronavirus, as I said in the last one, don't be fearful about the numbers of people dying. Don't be fearful about the percentages, because those percentages are not true. They are true with regards to the reported cases, but there's a lot more cases that are reported than there are that actually are reported. So really, yeah, the percentage of people that are dying is far, 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 far lower than the records actually show. Because most cases of people that get the coronavirus, they get the mild version of it. Yeah, the symptoms, they get a mild. So therefore, they don't notice that they've even got anything. If they get something, they think it might just be a cold. They don't think it's this horrendous virus that people keep talking about. Because the problem is, on the news, what you hear is the bad versions. That when people go for it, you hear the bad versions. You hear the ones where, yeah, that they're coughing all the time, they're struggling to breathe, and they're considering phoning up the doctors to go on the ventilator, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, that's what you normally hear. You know, where they've got a splitting headache and where they take a week to recover because they're absolutely shattered. And their body is overheating in a fever where they're sweating so much that their bed ends up like a paddling pool. Those are the examples that we tend to hear about. Now, of course, when you hear about those, if you have caught the virus, but you have incredibly mild symptoms, you're not going to think you've got the same thing. So therefore, you're not necessarily going to report that to your GP. If you don't report it to your GP or your doctor, whatever way your system works in your country, it's not going to come down on the records because nobody knows you've got it apart from you. But that's why it is a case, folks, that, you know, even if you think you don't have the virus, you may have it, because you may have it but have no real symptoms of it. Incredibly mild symptoms. Like, for example, where I am in the world, the temperature is a lot higher over the next few days. Previously to the last few days, the temperature was really cold at night, about sort of 3 degrees, possibly lower. And then last night it was 9 degrees. Tonight it's going to be 11 degrees. And then it goes back to about 4 or 5 degrees after tonight. So anyone over last night and tonight in the area may find that they're getting hot during the night, but they may have the virus and have mild case of fever. But they would look at the temperature and say, oh, that's probably because of the temperature. So even if you don't think you've got it, I'll get to the point. Even if you don't think you've got it, you really do need to stay indoors. Certainly if your country is on a lockdown, stay indoors. Don't try and meet as a church. Don't try and meet people. If you have family members that need help, well then try and get people more local to them to deal with it. Maybe their neighbours or something like that. If, like a lot of people, you are a father who doesn't see his children often, and you don't want to miss your turn seeing the children, sorry, this virus has meant you won't see the children on this occasion. Or at least you shouldn't. Because, as I said in my video, if you keep on going out, you keep on coming into contact with people, you are seriously at risk of either getting the virus off them or giving them a virus you don't even know you have. And any suffering that they go through is down to you. And you will be held accountable for that suffering, as you should. You see, the thing of it, folks, at a time like this, we need to understand that, as Yeshua said in John, I think it was John 17, you are not of this world. So therefore, we're not supposed to be led by the systems of the world. However, we're supposed to be blessing people. We're not supposed to make things worse for anyone. So if you go out when you've been told by your government to stay in, you are potentially going to cause harm to other people. And as a Christian, you should not be causing harm to anyone. Now, I say that with the complete understanding that we are all human and that we cause harm to people on a regular basis. But this is a situation where you could cause someone to get the virus. They could then have the worst kind of symptoms from this virus and end up dying because of you. Because you went out when you shouldn't have done. So just be aware of that. Just be aware of the fact that you're going to have to do things differently right now. If you are a father that hasn't seen your child, then Skype, video call, etc., etc. Take every opportunity of the devices that we now have to spend time with your child without actually leaving your premises to spend time with your child. Simple as that, folks. As I say, it is a case that in this time there will be opportunities, which is why the title is called Coronavirus Opportunities, Christianity Coronavirus Opportunities, because there will be opportunities. God is going to want to use people. God is going to want to bless people during this time. God may want to heal some people during this time. I mean, put it this way, I watched something the other day where they were talking about hospitals, and there was a doctor, and she was saying that now she can't refer patients to hospitals for things like blood tests, any other tests. She had a patient who had a hernia, but she couldn't refer that patient to a hospital. Now, therefore, you may be called by God to pray for someone who's got a hernia or has got some situation where they're not being referred to hospital now, where all of that will have to be delayed because hospitals have to deal with this coronavirus. You may need to be praying for someone who has been released from hospital a lot earlier than they normally would be, and therefore need maybe God to bless them and to help them to recover quicker. Because it's very, very dangerous. If you come out of hospital and you've got an infection and this coronavirus is out there, it's pretty dangerous. So you need help. So be sensitive to God. Is he asking you to lay hands on people? Is he asking you to pray for people? Is he asking you to be a prayer warrior? Is he asking you to bless your neighbors by getting food for them and other things they might need? Again, for some of you, that will be the case. For others, it will simply be a case that these next few weeks, you will be challenged to improve your relationship with God because you have the chance to do so. You will be challenged to become a prayer warrior. You'll be challenged to maybe do some self MOTing or self-servicing of your, of who you are, to get rid of a lot of the stuff that is in you that shouldn't be. There's a lot of time available, folks, to do all of that, any of that, and whatever else God may happen to think of. Okay. You take care, stay safe, and enjoy. If necessary, do what the dogs are doing. Spend more time sleeping. Yeah, that will Lucy up. Hello, Lucy. How you doing, pup? There you go. They all woke up now. So yes, you take care, folks. God bless. I will speak to you soon. Probably not by live video. I'll do another video at some point in time. I just thought I'd try this live video. Obviously, if I do, I've got to find a shade for that light because the bulb is where this weird ray of light is coming from. So speak soon. God bless. Bye bye.